There's a language barrier. Welcome to America. The Chicago Police Department was challenged in court because the Miranda rights to a person being arrested wasn't fully understood by the person that was being arrested. So his lawyer said, since my client could not understand what was said to him, it should be thrown out of court. And, well, okay. The county court said, we will look into it. Well, a similar event has happened in Los Angeles, where a person was being arrested while the police gave him the Miranda rights. Anything you say could be held against you. English was not his first language. And again, that lawyer said, my client could not understand his Miranda rights, so the case should be thrown out. Well, the Supreme Court last week, which is June 2022, when this was brought up in front of them, they said, no, the police are right. If the person does not understand it, and the person has been in this country a long time, he is basically required to understand English. Oh no, my client doesn't understand English. And how long has your client been here? 5 years? He just still doesn't understand English? Oh yeah, that's too bad. Literally speaking, you're in a country where English is the majority language. If the person was an American citizen, was in Mexico, and some police officer was going to arrest him, of course, they don't have the Miranda rights down there. It wouldn't make any difference. Hey, you don't speak Spanish. Too bad. And it's, okay, that thing. Well, see, Los Angeles also has this other problem. In the beginning of the year, first graders, kindergarten first graders, there's an estimated 50 different languages beside English being spoken by the incoming students. Well, that's great. They, the Board of Education said, well, what are we going to do about that? So what they have done is given the teacher a universal translator. And they cost $100. Which is quite expensive for the city, but for the teacher to set up there who doesn't speak English. What they're doing also is giving the students, or not giving, but loaning the students universal translators. So if you're speaking Korean and the teacher is speaking to you, your translator can translate English to Korean or Chinese or Japanese or a host of 50, 60, 70 other languages. And also, when they get the computers, the computers can be programmed to translate English into a language that they can read. Of course, at first grade, you're not able to read that much, but as a translator. So the teacher doesn't have to worry about her speaking English or her speaking Spanish or Korean or Chinese. The students should be able to have that, and if they have a Chrome, Google Chrome, that can be programmed to write the teacher's language into the student's language. Which is good. And of course now the police departments in Los Angeles are having these universal translators brought in, and just to do the Miranda rights. It's like, okay, guy, I'm arresting you. By the way, in Chinese or Japanese or bango bango. Sorry about bango bango. And yes. Also, at the police stations, there is, well, you need a translator. Well, not anymore you don't, because you got a computer sitting in front of you that can translate the suspect's language into English and English into the suspect's language, which is changing the face of in this country, because you have a lot of illegals in this country who've been here for 10 years, can't speak English. I know in Chicago, there are people in Polish areas of Chicago that have been here for 20 years and don't speak English. They don't have to. They got Polish television, Polish radio, and if they're in this section, everything's in Polish or Korean or Chinese. Yeah, walk into Chinatown, which is funny. If you walk into Chinatown, you expect pagan English, and they've been here for how many? Store owners? They give that no speaking English bit. Of course you don't. Right. Oh, by the way, which is funny because I belong to something, and some of our members speak Chinese. Mandarin Chinese, yes. I walk into we go to a restaurant, and the girl starts talking back and forth in Chinese, and Lee sits up there in Mandarin Chinese. So, universal translators, $100. I'm going to be required to get one. As Secretary of IPCC, I have to be able to sit there with a translator and translate, because we go into Consulate General's offices, and not all of them really understand English. Well, they do understand English, but there's, you have to really be born in the country. Like the woman I know is from Turkey. She speaks English, but she's a Consulate General. And the one from South Africa speaks beautiful English. Oh, I wish I could do that. So, but universal translators.